Okay, I have exactly 1 point, and you have to put it in what? An ordered pair, right? What was the second scenario? When we were graphing two lines, they could intersect, and I'd have exactly 1 point for the intersection. Then I had parallel lines, right? And how many solutions does that have? No solutions, because they don't intersect, right? In the third scenario, infinitely many. That's the same line. Okay? That was the same line where they intersect at every point. Again, every one of these problems, you're going to have one of the three examples, or one of the three scenarios. Substitution. Ooh, I don't even like the first problem. I don't like the first problem at all. But it's the only one I got on there. Oh, you know what? Let's go back a page. Let's look at 1A. Okay, go back a page. Notice that I have y solved for. Okay? Y is all by itself. So for substitution, I'm looking for a variable that's solved for. If I don't have a variable that's solved for, I'm going to have to do solve for it first and then use the substitution method. Okay? So I have y equals 4x minus 6 for my first equation. My second equation, I have 5x plus 3y equals negative 1. Well, I know what y equals, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what y equals and substitute it in wherever I see a y in the second equation. Now, please, when you're recopying this, make sure that you put that y in parentheses. In fact, I'm going to hold off putting the y in there until I write everything down. Well, what does y equal? Well, it equals 4x minus 6. I put it in my parentheses. Now, I only have one variable to solve for. I can do this. Okay, I'm going to have to distribute the 3. So nothing happening to the 5x. I'm going to bring it down. 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times minus 6 is minus 18. That equals negative 1. I'm going to combine my like terms. Well, let's see. I have a 5x because they're on the same side of the equal sign. So I have a 5x and a 12x. Gives me 17x. Bring down my minus 18 equals negative 1. Now I got to solve for x. I have to get the x term by itself. So I'm going to add 18 to both sides. 18's add up to 0. Bring down my 17x. Equals negative 1 plus 18, 17. Now I have to divide by the coefficient 17. And what does my x equal? Good. I have x. Remember, most likely I'm going to try and find a point. So my x equals 1. Anybody know how to find y? Yeah, just pick one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one. I would pick the top one. Seems to be the easier one. Y equals 4x minus 6. Well, I know what x equals, right? I just found out that it equals 1. So I'm going to substitute in 1 for x. 4 times 1 is 4 minus 6. So y is going to equal negative 2. So there's the point of intersection. 1, negative 2. These problems can get a little lengthy. Let's try another one. Let's do B. Okay, my first equation, I have 2x plus 5y equals negative 1. Y equals 3x plus 10. Well, I have a variable solve for. By the way, this could be y or x. It could be either one. I have y equals 3x plus 10. So I'm going to look for y in the other equation, substitute in my 3x plus 10. So I have 2x plus 5 times my y is going to equal negative 1. My y equals 3x plus 10. Okay, I'm going to have to distribute. Not doing anything with the 2x, just bring it down. Positive 5 times 3x, 15x, good. 5 times 10. Okay, combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. Oops. So I have 2x and a plus 15x. 17x, good. Subtract 51. I'm sorry. Subtract 50, I get negative 51. Okay. Divide both sides by the coefficient 17. And x equals negative divided by positive is a negative. 51 divided by 17, negative 3. So there's x. I'm going to go back and find y. I'm going to use the second equation. Seems like it might be just a little bit easier. See, y equals 3x plus 10. I know x is negative 3. So y is going to equal negative 9 plus 10. So y is going to equal 1. Your homework sheet, your practice sheet. Let's look at number 3. You have your homework sheet? Okay, number 3, I have y equal to, already solved for. It equals negative 8x plus 16. So I don't have to solve for any variable. I'm going to take what it's equal to, substitute it back into the top equation. So I have 24x plus 3, I'm going to substitute in y, equals 48. My y is negative 8x plus 16. Okay, I'm going to distribute the 3 in front of parentheses. So I have 24x minus 20, careful, 3 times 8, 24x. 3 times 16, 48, 48. Now I have to solve for x. All right, combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. I have a positive 24x and a negative 24x. Well, those cancel out to 0. So I get 48 equals 48. True statement? Does 48 equal 48? Will 48 always equal 48? No matter what I choose for x here, they're going to cancel out, right? So which, yeah, 0 will work. 0 minus 0, that'll cancel out to 0. Any number that I pick for x, it will work, right? So which one of these scenarios do you think I have? Remember, I've got the infinitely many, right? This is going to be the same line. So my solution here is infinitely many solutions. Whenever I get a number equals a number, and it's the same number, a true statement, algebraically, it's going to be infinitely many solutions.
So we put all real numbers?
You, it's the x. Yeah, I mean, for this class, I probably could. The problem is in Algebra 2, they have to use infinitely many. For this class, that's all right. You can put all reals. Or, you know what? You can abbreviate it, too. Infinitely many solutions. Yeah, do the abbreviations.
Don't put all real numbers.
And there are, I know, 2 teachers who will take off for it. Yes, I do. What about, what do you think will happen if you have parallel lines? No solution, right? But how's that going to look algebraically? Yeah, here we have 48 equals 48, a true statement with no variables. Number 7 is going to be a no solution. Algebraically, well, let's do it. That's what y equals. I'm going to substitute it in to the other equation. So So I have 4x minus y equals negative 3. My y is 4x plus 1. This one I have to distribute the minus sign. Remember, there's a minus 1 there. So I get 4x. Negative 1 times 4x is minus 4x. Negative 1 times positive 1 is minus 1, equal negative 3. And they do cancel out, the 4x and the negative 4x, but what am I left with? Negative 1 equals negative 3. Is that true? That's an untrue statement. That's why this one's no solution. See the difference? This one's a true statement. Number equals the same number. This is a different number equals a different number. Don't get confused on that. I'm going to stop here. If you feel really bored at home tonight, you could do the first page. Otherwise, you could wait till tomorrow. So when you come to class tomorrow, you just take out the worksheet and do page 1, okay? Okay. Okay. All right, why don't you guys put your Chromebooks away?
Yeah.